Don't train fast just to be fast. Train fast to handle fast. That's a mouthful. But I'm going to try and explain what I mean by that. Training fast or sprinting or doing faster type movements, overspeed, ballistic movements type of things in the gym, outside the gym with sprints, any type of thing like that is usually considered to be able to produce more force more quickly and or to get faster on the field generally. This is great and I love it, but something that's a really important thing when it comes to your training is how you perceive certain exercises and how you perceive certain training tools and what they can do for you. I think something really beneficial and something that a lot of people don't even think of is that speed training can be protective for you. I'll use sprints as an example. I have hurt my ankle and my hamstring while sprinting more than once. When I recall, I think the sprinting was while I was taking an angle, trying to get away from someone as I beat the first defender and trying to get away from someone. My ankle hit this funny angle while getting around the corner, and my ankle got hurt. It was at extremely high speeds, and all I remember was that my return to play stuff was extremely low volume and extremely basic. I would say it was the basic rehab stuff, and there's no problem with doing these stuff, getting yourself back on the field. But however, I do think that these types of injuries come from not being prepared and not having that background in these type of stuff. Hurting my hamstring in the similar type of fashion was kind of a slap in the face to me, because I also ran a kind of like an angle type of thing and my hamstring got it. Or even after my ankle injury, I would also kind of feel uncomfortable whilst running in these angles. Sooner or later I realized that, well, what if I just start sprinting at slower paces in these things? But something I noticed that the more I did sprints, these curve sprints where you ran in a circle or just like an S sprint or whatever, yes, it was uncomfortable maybe for the first 2 months, but two things happened. My hamstrings and ankles didn't feel so sketchy around in these movements at these speeds, and it didn't really get hurt again. Obviously, this does not take away any risk of injury, but I think the reason for this is that because I was exposed to doing those movements at high speeds, that is why I got used to it. That is why I could do it more without getting injured. And that is basically the whole premise of speed can also be protective. But if I would have maybe done it earlier, maybe I wouldn't have gone through all those type of things. But it's something I incorporate a lot, and it's something that made me look completely different at doing speed work. Hamstring strains, these ankle strains, even maybe stuff that you can take to like upper body stuff. If you start doing more drop catches and stuff, all these stuff have this nature in them where it happens really fast. So it's either you're already under such a high velocity, and then something funny happens and you're just not ready and something goes. I think the only way to get stronger for these things is not doing these low level exercises, that quote unquote rehab exercises that stop injuries, because you can't stop injuries. They happen, they're unpredictable. But if you're talking about getting prepared and preparedness, I think sprinting is the main thing for you to get prepared. I think hamstring strains happen the most with sprinting. But funny enough, people's answer is usually, well, we should probably sprint less or watch out for sprinting because they cause hamstring injuries. And I want to encourage people that the answer is the other way around, because the lack of sprinting is why you're hurting yourself while you're sprinting. I rarely have encountered players who have too much sprinting volume. Most of the players I have need more sprinting volume, and they need to be exposed to more sprinting volume. And that is why I mean fast is protective. You can apply this to anything in the gym as well. I've recently applied this for my wrists. I have a really bad wrist that I've been struggling with for 2 years. I recently started applying this with upper body plyometrics, and I feel that my wrist had a bit of a problem. Obviously, I scaled it a bit at the beginning, but it's gotten better and better with these types of movements. And I think that is also a part of getting something more stronger. That is how amazing your body is in adapting, because your body ultimately will adapt to the stress that you put upon it, the specific stress that even. Speed is good for your sport because you can dominate your sport with speed, but it will also protect you in your sport.